Hello, my name is Manny Costa, and today the purpose of my speech is to persuade the audience that people arrested for marijuana should be taken out of prison. According to drugpolicy.org, in 2018, there were 663,367 people arrested for marijuana charges, and of those 663,367 people who were arrested, only 608,775 were arrested for possession of marijuana in 2018. As someone who has researched the benefits and drawbacks of marijuana and has witnessed the unjust incarceration of citizens for marijuana, I am capable of informing you why people incarcerated for marijuana charges should be removed from prisons. Today, I will be talking about the citizens which are being arrested for marijuana-related charges. Then I will talk to you about the states that have already been releasing people from or with marijuana charges. And finally, I'll talk about the benefits of releasing people with marijuana charges. A main problem in our country is the systematic oppression of minorities by falsely arresting them. Drugtheory.org says that the percentage of people who are arrested for drug law violations that are Black or Latino is 46.9%, despite only making up 31.5% of the U.S. population in 2018. According to the ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, Black people are 3.64 times more likely than white people to be arrested for marijuana possession, despite comparable marijuana usage rates. The government is clearly using marijuana to arrest minorities. In states that legalize marijuana, the actual arrest rates decreased. However, the racial disparities remained the same. People who have been unjustly arrested are having their own lives ruined because of this unfair treatment. Farrell Scott, the name of a man who was given a life sentence to prison for selling marijuana in 2008. USA Today says that back in 2012, Scott was in prison in Pennsylvania when he saw on TV that the sale of marijuana was becoming legal in 2 states, Washington and Colorado. The same thing that he got arrested for 4 years ago, before his own eyes, was becoming legalized. Today, Scott is still in prison and says, "You would think that selling marijuana is the worst thing in the world because I was given a life sentence for it." Now that marijuana is legal recreationally in 11 states, and people such as Kevin Murphy are making millions from doing exactly what Scott was doing when he was given his life sentence. People like Scott should be released from prison. There are some states that have already been releasing some prisoners who were charged with marijuana-related crimes. TheLeafOnline.com says that several Cal Normal Legal Committee attorneys have reported that their clients have avoided jail by having charges reduced under the Adult Use of Marijuana Act, or Prop 64. An example of Sebastopol attorney Omar Figueroa saying that one of his clients was looking up to nearly 5 years in prison for felony transporting a pot, possession for sale, as well as a related probation violation. However, after Prop 64, Sonoma County prosecutors agreed to an infraction charge with no jail and no probation. Prop 64 could have reduced Scott's time as well. According to static cdfa.ca.gov, the Adult Use of Marijuana Act was made in 2016 and has changed so many people's lives. If a man can commit the same crime that Farrell Scott is in prison for the rest of his life and be perfectly fine now, Scott needs to be free, along with anyone else who's like Scott. LA Times writes that prosecutors in LA and San Joaquin counties announced plans to automatically dismiss or reduce some of 54,000 marijuana-related convicts as of 2019. With California releasing prisoners who are in prison for marijuana-related convictions, I believe that other states will start to follow and should follow California. PewTrust.org says that in California, Nevada, Oregon, Massachusetts, Washington, and Colorado, people will soon be removed from prisons that are incarcerated for marijuana-related charges. People are allowed to petition to get these said charges removed from their records and be released from prison. With so many people being taken out of prisons and with their records looking better, more people can get jobs and help contribute to society. People who were wrongly accused and serving way too much time can now go back to their normal lives. Imagine if it was illegal to sell flowers because they're protected because there's some law. You, thinking that this law is foolish because there's an abundance of flowers, sell some to your neighbor. You get caught selling these flowers and are now serving a lifelong sentence in prison. After being in prison for 40 years, there's a new law in a different state that says you can sell flowers now. Now that it's legal, how do you feel? Knowing that the same crime you committed and that gave you a lifelong sentence is now legal in a different state, I would be very upset. Going from the severity of being a lifelong sentence to something that is legal is a big swing in the government. People who are put into prison for something as small as possession of marijuana deserve to be freed. Now that medical marijuana is legal in 33 states and recreational weed is legal in 11 states, people who have been incarcerated for marijuana deserve to be released. I'll leave you with this statistic again. According to ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union, Black people are 3.6 times more likely than white people to be arrested for marijuana, despite comparable marijuana usages. Thank you.